Hi everyone, welcome to Power Flow. Today we're going to be doing a more fast-paced yoga flow and adding some yoga sculpt. I'm super excited. This class should be about an hour. Some things that you need are a yoga mat. I suggest having a block in case you need it for any of the poses. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a few chapter books. It doesn't matter if they're hardcover or if they're soft cover, but 2 or 3 of them would be great. Finally, the other thing that you should have are weights. I'm using 8-pound weights. You can use 5, you can use less than that, you can use 10. I wouldn't really go higher than 10. You also don't need to use weights for some of these exercises if you don't want to. I will say if you want to use weights and you don't have any, why don't you pause the video and grab some canned goods or things like that. We are going to get started on our mats in easy seated pose. So we're going to find a comfortable seat on our mat. We'll begin by closing our eyes and taking the deepest inhale you've taken today. If you're craving any little movements, maybe gently stretching out your neck, I want you to please do that.
Spent the whole day in my head. Do a little spring cleaning.
Find stillness. You may lightly open your eyes and inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand behind you, your right hand to your left knee. Your gaze is behind you. We'll be staying here for 5 breaths.
Got the cards in my hand, I hate them. Everything I need in them gone, but it ain't stealing. Can I get a break? I wish that I could just get out my goddamn.
Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand towards your right knee. Your right hand is behind you, as is your gaze. A gentle twist to warm up our body. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand behind you. Your right hand is on your left knee.
They don't like you when I'm done. When I'm flying, no, make 'em so.
Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, your left hand is coming towards your right knee. Your right hand is behind you.
It could always be worse. Running out of gas, hardly anything left. Hope we make it home from work. So tired of
Inhale your
being
arms
so
up.
tired.
Exhale, your hands can come to heart center. From this seated pose, we're going to move into tabletop. As you get into your tabletop, I want you to move your weights, or what you're using for your weights, closer to the top of your mat. Your yoga block should be at the top of your mat as well. We'll meet in tabletop. Our knees are underneath our hips, and our wrists are underneath our shoulders. Your gaze can be in between your hands, and your back is straight. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, you're going to bring your right hand underneath your left hand, bringing your right shoulder and your right face cheek towards your mat. You can stretch out your left hand or keep it underneath your shoulder.
Like summer, I know maybe I'm too late. I there's someone who finally discover there's a whole lot more waiting.
Replace your left hand so it's under your left shoulder. Inhale. Begin to bring your right hand back up towards the sky. Exhale, replace your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Coming back into tabletop. We'll hold tabletop for 5 breaths. Inhale your left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand underneath your right shoulder. Your left shoulder and your left face cheek are coming towards the mat. You can straighten your right arm, or you can keep it underneath your right shoulder. Replacing your right hand underneath your shoulder. Inhale, begin to lift your left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, replace your left hand. We're going to move into our first set. I want you to grab your weights, bring them a little bit closer to where your hands are in your tabletop. We're going to begin by curling our toes. Inhaling, exhale, lift your knees gently off the ground. They're just a few inches off the ground. Bring your knees towards the ground. With our right hand, we'll grab our weight. We're going to do 10 rows. Bringing your right hand back. Now we'll grab the weight with our left hand, doing 10 rows. Coming back to tabletop. Inhale, exhale. Curl your toes, lift your knees off the ground, just a few inches. Bringing our knees back to the ground. We'll grab the weight with our right hand, doing 10 rows. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your right weight down. Your hand is coming back down. Grabbing your weight with your left hand, doing 10 rows. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, coming back to tabletop. Recurling our toes. Exhaling, lifting your knees off the mat. Bringing your knees back down. Our last set of rows. With your right hand, grab your weight. We're doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing your right hand back down, grabbing your weight in your left hand. 10 rows. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, I want you to bring your weights up towards the top of your mat. That's when we'll need them next. Coming back into tabletop. From tabletop, we're gonna move into a short downward dog. So we're gonna keep our hands exactly where they are, flip our toes, and now we're going to gently inhale, exhale, push yourself to a mini downward facing dog. Your chest is coming towards your knees, and your knees are generously bent. I want you to shift your weight into your right hand. We're taking our left hand, bringing it to our right heel. Our gaze is going towards the right. Bringing our left hand back. Now we're going to shift our weight into our left hand, bringing our right right hand to cup our left heel. Our gaze is towards the left. Replacing our right hand. From here, we're going to come back into tabletop. Inhale, shift your hands a little bit further up. Keep your toes curled. And let's move into our downward dog. In your downward dog, you can straighten your legs a little bit, walking your dog. Your chest is coming close to your thighs, and you're looking in between your thighs. Generously bend your knees, shift your gaze in between your hands, and take a step into forward fold. Begin to tuck your stomach, and we're going to roll into standing. Roll your shoulders back. Your palms are facing forward, as is your gaze. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands towards your shins, flatten your back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step your left foot back, step your right foot back, coming into high plank. Inhale, exhale, low push-up. Inhale, coming into upward facing dog. Curl your toes, moving into downward facing dog. Bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, step or jump into forward fold. Inhale, straight back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up to standing. Our hands are coming over our head. Exhale, hands come to heart center in prayer. That was our first sun salutation A. We're going to move through that at a quicker speed now. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step or hop into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming into forward fold. Straighten your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up to standing. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping or hopping into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Inhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale. Inhale, coming up to standing. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. We all are going to meet into mountain. Our palms are facing forward, as is our gaze. From mountain, I want you to inhale your arms up. Bring your feet together. Exhale, moving into chair. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, straighten your back. Exhale, forward fold. You can step or hop into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right toes up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your chest. Step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, frame your front foot. We'll step our front foot back into high plank. Low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your left toes up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your chest, stepping your left foot through. Your back heel is coming to the ground. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, frame your front foot. Recurl your back toes. Stepping into high plank. Inhale. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Curl your toes, moving into downward facing dog. Bend our knees, step or jump into forward fold. Inhale, straighten your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, moving into chair. Exhale, coming into mountain. We're going to do that 1 more time. Beginning by inhaling our arms up and coming into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Place your hands. Step or jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right toes up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your chest. Step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your back heel. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, frame your front foot. Step your front foot back, coming into high plank. Inhale, exhale, low push-up, moving into upward facing dog. Curl your toes, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale your left toes up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your chest. Step your left foot in between your hands. Drop your back heel. Inhale your arms up straight. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, frame your front foot. Recurl your back toes. Step your front foot back, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Shift your gaze in between your hands and hop into forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up to chair. Exhale, coming into mountain. Holding mountain for 3 breaths. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. From here, I want you to plant your hands and jump back into high plank. We're going to drop our knees and move into 5 push-ups. If you would prefer to do these push-ups on your toes, you may do so. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Recurl your toes. Lift your knees off the ground, high plank. We're not holding our breath. We're breathing through our nose. Drop your knees. Moving into 5 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Recurl our toes. Moving into high plank. Drop your knees into our last 5 push-ups. 3, 2, 1. Recurl your toes, last high plank for now. Drop your knees. We're going to sink our hips towards our feet, resting in child's pose for about 5 breaths. From child's pose, we're going to move into downward facing dog. Bend your knees, shift your gaze in between your hands. We're going to hop into forward fold. Inhale, moving into standing. From our mountain pose, we're going to grab our weights. Our feet are going to be shoulders width apart. Our toes are going to be slightly out. Bring your weights to your chest, kind of like this. And we're going to move into 10 squats. 8, 9, 10. Bring your weights towards the ground. Come back into mountain pose. From here, we're going to step our left leg back into a lunge. Our knee is not going to touch the ground, but it's going to be quite close. And now bring your knee up. Step back, knee up. Step back, knee up. Step back, knee up. 2 more. Step back, knee up. Step back, knee up. Coming into mountain pose. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Taking our right leg, stepping it back, bringing our knee up. Coming into mountain pose. We'll grab our weights, moving into our 10 squats. 10, 9, 6, 3, 2, 1. Bringing our weights to the side, coming into mountain pose. Step our left leg back, bring our knee up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doing the same thing on the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, exhaling. Picking up our weights for our last set of squats. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back into mountain pose. Step our left foot back, bring our left knee up. Last one, switching the opposite side. Coming into mountain. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Clasp your hands, except for your index fingers. Point your index fingers towards the left. Bring your fingers back up. Exhale, point towards the right. Coming back up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We're going to begin by stepping our right leg back into high lunge. Our hands are up, our front knee is bent, and our gaze is forward. Begin to drop your back heel. Bring your arms out to a T, warrior two. Your gaze can be over your front hand, or it can be straight out in front of you, facing the long edge of your mat. Inhale, bring your front palm over your head, your back palm towards your back leg. Reverse warrior. Inhale, coming into warrior two. You're slowing down here a little bit, allowing us to catch our breath while still moving. From here, we're going to do extended side angle. Bring your left hand down towards your mat and your right arm above you. If you cannot reach the mat, I want you to take your elbow and gently place that on your front leg that's still bent. Inhale, coming back up to warrior two. From here, we're going to step into mountain pose. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. This time, stepping our left leg back, coming into high lunge. Moving into warrior two, dropping our back heel, bringing our arms out to a T. Our front leg is still bent. Flipping our front palm, bringing our front palm over our head and our back palm towards our thigh. Rebend your front leg. And now come back to warrior two. Bringing our front palm either towards the mat or bringing our front elbow towards our front thigh. Our back hand is coming up towards the sky, extended side angle. Inhaling warrior two. From warrior two, we're going to move into mountain pose. From here, we're going to step our right leg back into high lunge. Bring your hands to heart center. From high lunge, we're going to tap into low lunge, come back up to high lunge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into high lunge. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Begin to hinge at your hips, bringing your hands to frame your front foot. Plant your right hand. Inhale your left hand up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand down. We're going to step into high plank. Shift your weight on towards your left hand. Bring your heels down on the left side. Inhale your right hand up towards the sky. Coming back into high plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Step or hop into forward fold. Moving back up to mountain. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Stepping our left leg back, moving our body into high lunge. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands to heart center in prayer. We're going to do 10 taps into low lunge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into high lunge. Hinge at your hips. Frame your front leg. Plant your left hand. Inhale your right arm up towards the sky. Bringing our hands to frame our front foot. We're going to step our right leg back. Shift your right hand more towards the center. Bring your weight to it. Drop your heels. Side plank on the opposite side. Bring both your hands back to high plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Hop into forward fold. From forward fold, we're going to bend our knees, coming into a seated position. Our feet are flat on the ground. We're finding our sit bones, and our knees are pointing straight up. From here, we're going to hold our thighs and begin to bring our feet off the ground, moving into boat. You can stay here for boat. You can bring your hands down next to your hips, or for an extra challenge, you can bring your hands straight out in front of you. From here, we're going to come down to laying down, but we're not putting our feet or our head on the ground, and then crunching back up into boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold your boat. 3, 2, 1. We can bring our feet down. From here, I want you to grab one of your weights. We're going to keep our feet planted, and we're going to recline onto our backs. Take your weight, place it by your hips. And we're holding it with our hands. And what we're going to do is inhale, lift your hips, finding bridge. Holding, We're gonna sink our hips a little bit, not touching the ground, and then lift, inhale. Do that 10 more times. Two, one, lift and hold. Slowly begin to bring your hips down to the ground. You can bring your weight towards the side. Allow your knees to come in towards your chest and give yourself a hug. Coming back down, bringing our head towards the mat. We're gonna have our knees as if they're a straight line, almost like you're in tabletop, but we're on our back. Bring your hands behind your head, the lower part of your head. We're going to bring our left elbow towards our right knee, extending our left leg. Inhale, come back to where we started. Exhale, your right elbow's coming towards your left knee. Coming back to normal. We're gonna move through these yoga bicycles. Three, two, one. Coming back down. We can bring our feet flat on the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your knees in. Give yourself a hug. Begin to roll yourself up into a seated position. From this seated position, I want you to move your weights towards the side. We're done with them for now. If you have a pillow, you can bring that closer to you. We're gonna start using that for this part of practice. From your seated position, wherever you are, we're going to move into bound ankle. Our feet are flat together and our knees are coming down towards the side. Think of this as butterfly pose. Our back is straight, and with our straight back, we're going to get as close to our feet as we can. Come back to a straight back. Let's keep our left leg bent, extending our right leg. We're gonna shift our bodies so our chest is facing our front, is facing our right leg. Inhale, your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, I want you to fold. Wherever your hands land is where I want you to hold this stretch. Coming back to a straight back. We're going to rebend our right leg and then straighten our left leg. We're shifting our body so our chest is over our left leg. Inhale, your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Today I feel like I could get my toes, but if I went there, I'd kind of be at my edge. At this point in practice, We don't want to be right at our edge. We want to be a little bit away from that. So rather than straining to grab my toes, I'm going to come almost to my ankle, maybe even a little bit above that, more towards my shin. Find your edge and then step a little bit away from it. Great, come back to a straight back. From here, we're going to bend our knees, put both of our feet on the ground. Your hands are going to come behind you, and our back is straight. Your fingers are pointing to the opposite wall. We're going to take our left ankle and cross that over the beginning of our right thigh. If you feel like you want a deeper stretch, scoot your hands in, but our back needs to be straight. This is a great alternative to pigeon pose if you find that pigeon pose doesn't work for you. I often do this. It's a really nice stretch. We're going to bring our left foot down to the ground. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. If you want, you can kind of windshield wipe your legs a little bit, shake them out. And as you find stillness, let's cross our right ankle over the beginning of our left thigh. We'll take our right leg back to the ground. From here, we're going to recline onto our back. Bring your knees back up like when we were beginning our yoga bicycles. And let's drop our knees towards the left. Your hands are out in a T. And your gaze is going to move towards the right. If it's uncomfortable and your knees aren't touching the ground, you can use your block and put them just underneath your knees. It makes this resting position more comfortable for some. Inhale, use your core to bring your knees back up. From here, exhale, bring your knees towards the right. You can bring your block with you if that was comfortable for you on the other side. And when you're ready, I want you to bring your gaze towards the left. Bring your knees back up. We're going to pause here with our knees up. Separate your knees a bit. Bring your arms through the inside of your knees and grab the outside of your feet. We're going to move into happy baby. If holding your feet is uncomfortable, I invite you to hold on to your shins. If you would like, you can straighten out one of your legs in happy baby and then straighten out the other. From happy baby, I'm going to invite you to move into rested cobbler's pose. So let's begin by planting our feet. Our knees are pointing up towards the sky. Heel toe your feet together. Put the palms of your feet together and drop your knees. Bring one hand towards your heart and the other hand towards your belly. From here, we're going to move into Shavasana. But if you're craving any last poses or any last movements, I want you to do that before you move into Shavasana. In Shavasana, our legs are straight out. Our shoulders are rolled back. We can gently close our eyes. Our arms are by our sides and our palms are facing up. Allow your breath to move at its normal pace. Today, I want you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you need. When you are ready, you can sit up and take one final breath in your yoga practice. But I am going to end today's video so that you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you would like. Namaste.